Hey guys, today I'm going to do a walkthrough video of the Pete's Multis pack for Omnisphere. So if you didn't already know what they are, it's basically 44 unique patches that I've designed, and I've combined those 44 patches into 11 multis. There's actually 8 different ones, but there's 11 because I've created different versions for the ones with drums in them. So you can use these patches individually, so you can use the 44 patches just by themselves. Or you can use them as multis like I'm going to show you today. I'll also mention that I'm only using Omnisphere here. There's no external effects, there's no ARP effects, everything's from Omnisphere, which just means if you're using it in Logic or Pro Tools or Nuendo or whatever DAW you're using it in, it's going to sound the same as this demo that I'm showing you today. Cool. Just one other thing I'll mention before I get started. Make sure you're using the mod wheel when you're using these multis. Even when you're using the individual patches, because there's been a lot of programming behind the scenes that makes use of the mod wheel. So if you don't move the mod wheel up and down, you're kind of going to miss out on half the sound. So I'll show you that. Cool. Instead of me talking, let's go through and show you some audio demos. So what I'm going to do with each one, I'm going to play one chord. I'm going to slowly move the mod wheel up so you can hear the sound morphing and changing. And then I'm going to play a simple progression with the mod wheel fully up. Okay, let's get started. Another thing I'll mention is the tempo is determined by your DAW. So in this case it's main stage that's controlling the tempo. If I wanted to change the tempo of the multi, I just change this down here. I should also mention that these patches are velocity sensitive as well. So even though the mod wheel is fully up, I can still manipulate the sound a little bit by hitting notes harder or not playing as hard on the keyboard. Cool, let's go on to the second sound. What I've done with the key switch version is I've got the drums on a key switch, C0 at the very bottom of your keyboard if you've got an 88 note keyboard, and basically all that does is switch on and off your drums. So you can use these multis with or without the drums. If you want to use them without the drums, just select the key switch version and just don't hit the very bottom C and you won't trigger the drums. When I'm using these multis in church and in a live situation, I don't always use the whole multi. So I might go, I really like the sidechain aspect or the ARP aspect to some of these multis. So I'll just turn off or mute the different parts of the multi, and then I can just use them as kind of a half multi for live use. Obviously, if you've got a live drummer and a live bass player, you can take those out and just use the rest of those patches live. Okay, I'll get back to showing you the key switch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play one chord, move the mod wheel up, and then bring in the drums later on. Okay, let's move on. This one's a piano multi. Again, as I move the mod wheel up, things change. There's another layer that comes in with delay. So I'll do a simple progression and then move the mod wheel up and show you what that's doing. So this is another one. This one's essentially a pad multi, so see what happens when I move the mod wheel up on this one. And this one's another drum bass multi. I won't show you that one. Basically, it's the same thing, but like I showed you for Falling Jupiter, the drums come in when you push C0 at the bottom of your keyboard. Okay, here's another art bass multi, again with drums. I should also mention that all of these are adjustable, so if you're like, oh, there's too much overdrive on that ARP, you can easily go inside Omnisphere and just turn down the overdrive plugins that I've got on there. You can use them as part multis or full multis, like I said before. I like to use them as more part multis, so pulling out the sounds I like from them and using them live at church or wherever I'm playing. So they're really customizable. You don't have to use them 100% like I'm showing you, but they're set up in such a way that they work straight off the bat. Okay, so this next one's a side-chained type multi. So it starts off with a pad that's unside-chained, and as you move the mod wheel up, it simulates side-chaining. If you don't know what side-chaining is, it's a common production technique where a compressor will be triggered by another channel. Most of the time it's a kick drum, so the kick drum will trigger a compressor on something else, in this case a pad. So I'll play like I did before, one chord, then move the mod wheel up and show you what it's doing. Okay, so this next one's another pad multi. Like I said before, I don't always use every single multi as a full multi, especially in a live setting. I'll take out drums, I'll manipulate, I'll change it around, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to show you a couple of patches that I created from these multis for live use. So these were actually for a student I recently taught. One of them, they wanted an atmospheric multi that represented rain and thunder and that kind of thing, but still had a pad element to it. So that's this one. As you can see by the name, it is reflective of the Galaxy Pools one. So I've just edited a little bit. I've added one more sound into there and created this multi from it. So if you're wondering how I made it, I pulled up the Galaxy Pools multi. Then all I did was add this metallic thunderclap in on layer 6. Then I think I added a bit more reverb to it from what's originally on it. And then I went to modulation. Then I assigned the mod wheel to affect the amplitude. So basically, when it's down, you won't hear anything. So when you move the mod wheel up, that's when this sound will come in. And I think I adjusted the volumes a little bit from the original Galaxy Pools multi. So I think I turned up the water a little bit. And yeah, so that was basically it. I think I muted these. Yeah, I did, as you can see there. Okay, this is another one that I kind of stripped back for live use. So I'll show you that one and then show you kind of how I made it. Okay, again, it was created from a multi that I already created, the Meteor Showers one. Then go to stack mode, you can see exactly what I've got. I've taken out all the drums and bass and everything. I think I even moved this, or maybe it was like that in the original, but that's a handy tip anyway. You can move these up and down so that you can determine whereabouts they come in by where you play on the keyboard. Okay, so I think the first thing I did was I went to these two ARPs here. I went to the ARP, I made sure they were on chord and not, I think they were originally on up. Made sure it was 1 octave, so I did that for both of those. Chord 1, yep. I think I also moved them up an octave, so there and there. I think that one was originally on 0. And I may have just mixed them a little differently. As you can see, all the other ones, the snare, the hi-hats, the kick, they're all in there, but they're not being triggered. So that actually helps your CPU if you're running into CPU troubles. But they're not as bad as you might think, CPU-wise. It's pretty good for having to record the audio and this video on top of all of that. So yeah, that's basically how I created that one. And like I said, you can use them however you want. You can reverse engineer them and create your own multis, or do what I do and just use parts of them for live use and take out the drums and bass and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching.